Todd Carmichael, founder and CEO of LATTE Colombe, thank you for joining us at your West Chelsea location.
Thank you.
So you talk a lot about the future of coffee. How do you see coffee evolving? How do you see the consumer's relationship with coffee changing over the next couple of years?
Well, first at LATTE Colombe we believe that nothing is finished. In food and beverage, and one of those pieces is coffee. Our feeling is that coffee needs to go mobile. But right now, a coffee drinker is semi-chained to their nearest cafe. They stand in line for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes a day, and they do that 2 or 3 times a day, and it feels a lot like was, to go to a bank years and years ago. And we'd like to liberate people from that experience and give them wings, give them a way to experience a truly crafted drink, but without standing in line at a cafe.
Now, when you say mobile, we're not necessarily talking about your mobile device, or maybe we are, but we're also talking about replacing that process of waiting online for coffee. Draft, latte, and a can, which is what we have here. You invented this a few months ago.
That's correct. Yeah. I was just looking at this huge kind of ice age that started a number of years ago, where people now are drinking as much, if not more, iced coffee than they are hot coffees. And then looking critically at the iced coffee and saying to myself, how can I improve it? And one of the improvements really right off the bat was there's no texture. I mean, the latte and the cappuccino and the mocha and the cortado and the macchiato, these are all textured drinks. They have that silky, aerated feel to them. And I realized that the next level of iced coffee was that. It had that final ingredient, which was micro bubbles.
And that all starts when I open the can, right?
That's right. Okay, you want me to get technical? Okay, there are 3 components to a latte. Everyone knows coffee, milk, but the third one is vapor. Now at the machine, we're putting water vapor in there, and the consequence of that is heat. So with the draft latte, what I did is created a gas that I compressed into a liquid, and it stays a liquid, it's nitrous oxide, as long as it's under pressure. But the moment I open that container up, that liquid gas becomes vapor and creates billions and billions of little tiny, tiny bubbles that feel like that cappuccino or latte texture.
Now, you have your eyes perhaps on Howard Schultz at Starbucks. You guys go way back. Tell us about your history.
Well, I started making coffee for money in 1982 in Seattle. So I'm kind of dating myself, but at the time, Starbucks had 3 or 4 cafes. It was owned by a husband and wife team, and that's kind of where I learned my trade of coffee. And when Howard recognized the potential of Starbucks, he came in and bought it in like 85, 86, and that's when I kind of split away from Starbucks and went my own way. And that path has taken me here with you in Draft Latte.
But your goal isn't necessarily to open up as many stores as Starbucks has. No. You want to get this into as many retailers as you can, and you're already starting to do that. 1,000 retailers soon, right?
Yeah, many. We're looking at nearly 100,000 cases, which is times 12 a week now, kind of in the production rate of a factory in Michigan. So, I mean, the Starbucks model was this: we're going to open a cafe in every corner across America, and that's going to change the way America interacts with its coffee. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but the other day I went into a Starbucks bathroom and there was a Starbucks inside. There are lots of Starbucks, and I realized that model isn't the one that I'm going for. What I want to do is I want America to go on an adventure with their coffee, to have a 6-pack like you would do beer or soda or any other kind of effervescent beverage. You have these at home and you crack it open and you consume it without necessarily going to the nearest Starbucks. You can be free in your office, in your car, or anywhere else.
So you want everyone carrying one of these cans like they do with their iPhone?
I want them enjoy, like an iPhone, exactly. I think it's a lot like the iPhone. We liberated the computer from our desks at one point. It stopped being a fixed thing. It became a mobile thing with iPads and even laptops and iPhones. And coffee has just failed to make that transition. It's waiting for the technology or the ingenuity to make that leap off the desk and out of the cafe and into stores and into your hands.
Well, we've seen disruptions in video streaming, content, right? Netflix, car service, transportation, Uber, Lyft. Is this the disruption in coffee that we've been waiting for?
This is what a lot of us believe. Yeah, this is kind of the chatter. I'll admit to you that it's a big dream, but there's lots of things that we've done at LATTE Colombe that were big dreams and became a very, very concrete reality. And the reality is this: America deserves better coffee, and it's not getting it. Coffee isn't getting better day to day. It hasn't for a long time. It's waiting for that nudge to move it to the next level. And this way I can control all the ingredients. You can make sure that you have a beautiful, true milk, beautiful, true coffee that's healthy for you with no sugar. That sample you had right there has 0 sugar in it. The only sugar is inherent in the milk. And so you can move away with 80 calories of milk and a truly invigorating experience with all that luxurious kind of texture to it.
So, I mean, if you look at Starbucks, though, can't they easily do something like this and put it in their, thousands and thousands of stores across the globe?
I guess they could. The thing is, you're talking about the bottle of Frappuccino. The bottle of Frappuccino is actually made by Pepsi and Starbucks together. So they have some limitations to what they're able to do. Plus, they answer to, Wall Street. And I don't. I answer to myself.
That's a big advantage.
It's a huge advantage. My two partners, one is Turkish, one is French, and they care about quality as much as I do.
Do you hope to answer to Wall Street one day?
No, I don't. I would be a terrible CEO of a publicly traded company. I hope that it doesn't go out to too many people, but I'm a crafts guy who I lead with my heart. A big part of what we do is we take care of our farmers. We have a charitable aspect to our company, and these are things that are really important to us. What's in that bottle is instant coffee, powdered milk, 27 grams of sugar in a jar. You can make that in 1890. There's no ingenuity to that. My grandmother drank pretty much that, but it was hot. Instant coffee, powdered milk, and 27 grams of sugar, which is about a big piece of chocolate cake. I don't think that any of those ingredients belong in a beautifully crafted coffee. None of those things belong in there.
And just for people watching, because I know you guys have locations in New York, DC, Philly, Chicago, but if you're outside of those areas, what retailers can you find this at?
Well, right now today is Target. Target is right now Whole Foods, Wegmans, Kroger, and a whole skew of other. It's really hard to actually point at a retailer right now that we're not talking to or already received a PO for it. The excitement of this on this product at the retail level is we're batting 1,000. If we meet you, you end up putting it on your shelf.
All right, Todd Carmichael from LATTE Colombe. We'll check back in with you in a few months. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.